Popsicles, sprinklers, a cool breeze. Talk about refreshing. You know what else is refreshing this summer? A brand new phone with Verizon. Yep, get a new phone on any plan with Select Phone Trade-in and My Plan. And lock down a low price for 3 years on any plan with My Plan. This is a deal for everyone, whether you're a new or existing customer. Swing by Verizon today for our best phone deals. 3-year price guarantee applies to then current base monthly rate only. Additional terms and conditions apply for all offers.
For 25 years, Brightview Senior Living Associates have been committed to creating a vibrant culture and delivering exceptional services, making Brightview a great place to work and live. If you're looking for a rewarding opportunity to serve your local community and grow, we want you to join our team. Brightview Senior Living is growing and actively seeking vibrant associates to join our community teams, including directors, healthcare, activities, hospitality, and dining. Apply today at careers.brightviewseniorliving.com. Equal employment opportunities. Text BV Jobs to 97211 to apply.
Popsicles, sprinklers, a cool breeze. Talk about refreshing. You know what else is refreshing this summer? A brand new phone with Verizon. Yep, get a new phone on any plan with Select Phone Trade-in and My Plan. And lock down a low price for 3 years on any plan with My Plan. This is a deal for everyone, whether you're a new or existing customer. Swing by Verizon today for our best phone deals. 3-year price guarantee applies to then current base monthly rate only. Additional terms and conditions apply for all offers.
Hello, I'm Sarah.
Hello, I'm Toby.
And welcome to the Whispering Woods podcast. We are still in Season of the Witch, week 2. As I said before, this will go on until the end of September. Now, I just want to have a moan. All right? A moan.
Yep.
I've had one of those weeks. I've had one of those lives. Those weeks where everything goes wrong. Now, the episodes aren't available on the Apple Podcast at the moment. Hopefully, by the time this is up and running, they all will be. But a week now, I've been waiting for them to be added. So when speaking to Apple, trying to get that sorted out. And it's just when I keep seeing magpies in the garden. Just one.
Yep.
And that's what's causing it. All right? Call me superstitious. But that single magpie I keep seeing, it's the same one. It watches me with its beady eye.
Hey, yeah.
It's only got one eye. It hasn't, but it just faces me with one eye.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to do some protection rituals or something.
It's the devil.
Yeah, he's watching. He's got his sneaky eye on eye. Right, anyway, should we get on with this? This story does actually lead on from the extra episode of last week, or this week, depends when you count the first day of the week, I guess. But it does carry on. Are you ready for the story?
Yes, I am.
St. Osyth is a picturesque village on England's Essex coast, with medieval cottages and seaside calm. But there is a darker legacy. At the heart of this village sits an unassuming mustard yellow cottage, known as the Cage. A place once used to imprison accused witches in the 1500s, now infamous as the most haunted house in Essex. Within its walls, locals say, linger the spirits of those long dead. The home's reputation has even drawn ghost hunting TV crews from around the world, lured by reports that this small house comes with many resident ghosts. In the early 2000s, one resident, Vanessa Mitchell, learned firsthand just how oppressive the cage's haunting could be, turning her dream of a cozy home into a living nightmare she would ultimately have to flee. To understand the cage's sinister past, you must step back to 1582, the year of the St. Osyth witch trials. During that fevered episode of witch hunts, 13 women from the village were accused of practicing witchcraft and locked up in the cage to await trial. They would be known as the Witches of St. Osyth. Ultimately, 2 of the imprisoned women were found guilty and executed by hanging, while a third was convicted but later reprieved. Among them was Ursula Kemp, a local midwife whose story turned into legend. Once respected as a healer, Kemp fell under suspicion after a bitter feud with a neighbour. She was accused of causing illnesses and even deaths through magic spells and charms. According to trial records, she confessed her witchcraft to an 8-year-old boy who testified against her, sealing her fate on the gallows. Today, a plaque on the cage's wall solemnly commemorates Ursula Kemp's imprisonment and execution in 1582. In a gruesome postscript to this history, builders in 1921 unearthed 2 female skeletons in a St. Osyth garden, believed to be the remains of 1582 witches, one reportedly Ursula Kemp herself. The bones had nails driven through them, a macabre measure historically used to pin witches' spirits in their graves and prevent ghostly revenge. For centuries, after the infamous witch trials, the cage continued to serve the community as a jail. In the 1800s, it was rebuilt in brick and functioned as the village lockup for petty criminals, drunks and vagrants, remaining in use as a jail all the way until 1908. Only later in the 20th century did the cage shed its bars and chains. By the 1970s, a developer had converted the old cells into a normal residence, complete with a cosy living room and upstairs bedrooms. Yet, the echoes of its dark past seemed to linger. According to local accounts, many subsequent owners could not handle the paranormal activity in the cage and sold the house quickly. According to these stories, the cottage's courtyard opens onto a footpath grimly known as Coffin Alley, once used to carry the dead to the nearby cemetery. A chilling reminder that death has long been a neighbour to this house. In 2004, a young local woman named Vanessa Mitchell bought the cage, captivated by its quaint charm and undeterred by its morbid backstory. Vanessa later recalled that as a child she had seen the witch trial plaque on the cottage and felt more fascination than fear. Quote, "I remembered seeing the plaque outside. My earliest memories are just being fascinated by the house. I remember being drawn to it," she said of her decisions to purchase the notorious property. To her, the cage was a historic oddity and a unique home, not a threat. But reality set in quickly once she moved into the old prison's rooms. Vanessa would soon discover that something unseen lurked alongside her in the cage. On her very first day living there, she witnessed shadowy apparitions drifting through her room, a chilling welcome to what lay ahead. From that day forward, the haunting only escalated. Over the next 3 years, the cage subjected Vanessa and her visitors to a barrage of unexplained and often violent phenomena. The spirits, or whatever dwelled there, did not remain quiet observers. They interacted with the living in terrifying ways. Even Vanessa's unborn child became part of the narrative, as she endured attacks while pregnant. There were shadowy figures seen roaming the house. On one occasion, a tall, dark figure even appeared standing near Vanessa's son's cot. A sight that became the final straw for her stay. Mysterious spectres would sometimes hover in doorways or glide through rooms, and even attacked her house guests during visits. Low, inhuman growling sounds echoed through the cottage, with no explainable source to be found. These ghostly growls often break the silence of night, leaving Vanessa on edge. Vanessa was shoved, hit, and even bitten by invisible forces inside the house. She recalls being pushed to the floor, at times while heavily pregnant, and once feeling a hard slap on her backside, delivered by an unseen presence. A full-blown whack that left her shaken and bruised. On multiple occasions, she was knocked off balance, or even pulled by her hair, as if whatever lurked there wanted to make its hostility known. Household objects would fly across rooms on their own, crashing into walls or falling to the floor. Doors slammed with no one behind them. Perhaps most horrifying, mysterious blood spatters sporadically materialize on the floor and walls without explanation. Red stains appearing where moments earlier all was clean. These unsettling manifestations made daily life in the cage feel like a scene from a horror film. In one disturbing encounter, Vanessa witnessed a vision of a satanic-looking goat. A goat-like spectral figure with malevolent eyes manifesting inside the house. This demonic apparition convinced her that a truly evil force was present in the cage. Footage taken by paranormal investigators even purported to show this ghost-shaped entity stalking the walls, reinforcing Vanessa's belief that something demonic was at work. This relentless onslaught took a profound toll on Vanessa. What was meant to be a peaceful home had become a battleground, leaving her exhausted, frightened, and desperate for answers. Keen to reclaim some normalcy, Vanessa turned to the church for help. She invited the local vicar to visit the cage and perform a blessing, hoping that a cleansing ritual might expel whatever evil resided there. The vicar came prepared with holy water and prayers, and he confided to her that he'd had an unusual number of requests to bless homes in St. Osyth. Several other residents on that high street had complained of hauntings as well. He performed a thorough blessing in the cage's front room, reciting prayers as he sprinkled holy water in each corner. Sadly, the vicar's intervention did nothing to dispel the malevolent presence. The supernatural disturbances continued unabated, showing no regard for the clergyman's efforts. In fact, the oppressive atmosphere only deepened. At her lowest point, Vanessa began hearing disembodied voices whispering to her to end her own life. These suicidal urges seemed to come from nowhere, yet felt terrifyingly real. In researching the house's past, Vanessa discovered a chilling coincidence. A former owner of the cage had indeed died by suicide on the premises years before. It was as if the house remembered that tragedy and was attempting to draw her into repeating it. The psychological strain was immense. Living inside the cage was grueling, the longest slog of my life, Vanessa later wrote, describing how the malevolent haunting drove her to the brink of exhaustion and a nervous breakdown. After nearly 3 years of torment, she reached her breaking point. In 2008, Vanessa gathered the courage to flee and never return as a resident. Walking out of the cage for the last time gave her a feeling of pure relief, as if she were escaping not just a house, but a prison of fear. Once she had moved out, Vanessa Mitchell refused to live in the cage again. For a time, she did retain ownership of the notorious cottage, but she used it only for paranormal investigations and research, no longer as a home. Capitalising on its infamous reputation, she allowed ghost hunters and TV crews to spend nights there, attempting to document the strange activities that had driven her away. The story of the cage and Vanessa's ordeal even became the subject of a television docudrama, bringing wider attention to the case. Determined to share her experiences and perhaps warn others, Vanessa co-authored a book in 2017 with investigator Richard Easter titled Spirits of the Cage, detailing the paranormal nightmare she lived through inside the old witch prison. Despite the horrors she endured, it still took years for Vanessa to finally sell the cage. She attempted to put the house on the market multiple times. In part due to its infamy, prospective buyers were understandably hesitant. In 2019, she listed the property once again. The real estate listing did not shy away from the cottage's dark past. In fact, it touted it. One advertisement described the cage as one of the most notorious and well-documented haunted 16th century cottages in Britain. And another warned that the home comes available with many resident ghosts, underscoring that any buyer should know exactly what they were in for. Finally, in 2020, Vanessa accepted an offer and sold the cage to a new owner. The woman who bought it, a recent divorcee, claimed not to believe in ghosts and was reportedly unfazed by the house's ghastly reputation. Today, the cage still stands on a quiet street in St. Osyth, its cheery yellow exterior masking centuries of tragedy and terror. While its new owner goes about life sceptical of any spirits, the cottage's legacy remains unmistakably eerie. The plaque by the door still proclaims its history as a witch prison, and locals still exchange tales of the unexplained sights and sounds that have emanated from within. The story of the cage, from the 16th century witches who languished in its cell to Vanessa Mitchell's modern-day haunting, serves as a chilling reminder that some places are scarred forever by their past. In the case of this little Essex cottage, the whispers of the condemned and the footfalls of ghosts seem to linger on, ensuring that the cage's dark legend lives on.
Popsicles, sprinklers, a cool breeze. Talk about refreshing. You know what else is refreshing this summer? A brand new phone with Verizon. Yep, get a new phone on any plan with select phone trade-in and My Plan. And lock down a low price for 3 years on any plan with My Plan. This is a deal for everyone, whether you're a new or existing customer. Swing by Verizon today for our best phone deals. 3-year price guarantee applies to then current base monthly rate only. Additional terms and conditions apply for all offers.
Did you know Tide has been upgraded to provide an even better clean in cold water? Tide is specifically designed to fight any stain you throw at it, even in cold. Butter? Yep. Chocolate ice cream? Sure thing. Barbecue sauce? Tide's got you covered. You don't need to use warm water. Additionally, Tide Pods let you confidently fight tough stains with new Coldzyme technology. Just remember, if it's gotta be clean, it's gotta be Tide.
So, what a nice story. I feel awful for Vanessa, poor thing, having to deal with that as a young single mother. I do want to mention, because I first of all watched this story on a paranormal program, one of the British ones, but I can't remember what it was called. And I also heard her story on Spooked, the podcast. So you may want to listen to that. There is a book as well that Vanessa's put together, and it's called Spirits of the Cage. And I recommend anybody who's interested, if you can get a copy of it, to give it a read. But what a witchy area, St. Osyth. I don't know if we had witch trials here in Bristol. I'm sure we did.
Of course we did.
Yeah, there was I'm not very good with history, I've got to be honest. When I was in work, I think they used to hang people up the road from there. Not when I was in work, but hundreds of years ago. There was an area where lots of the hangings took place in Bristol.
Well, that's not good, is it?
Well, no, not at all. Let's be honest. And once they were doing something in one of the old churches, and the next minute all the police turned up because some builders were doing some work, yeah? And they walked past members of the public and saw a load of human bones in a skip.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It is. It's like, what's going on? Murder. Oh my. But yeah, they were from the crypt or something in the end. But those builders, they just get in there and get the job done, don't they?
Yeah.
It's like,
No questions asked.
there are human bones there. And heads up as well, next week's season of the Witch Stories are all about corn and wheat and the harvest. And the reason, because I have actually got other episodes put out, but I recorded these ones really quickly because it's the corn moon today. Depends when you're listening to this. For Patreon and Apple subscribers, that is tomorrow. But for everybody else, that is today. It's the corn moon. And because the harvest moon isn't until October, and we're doing 31 days of Halloween, I thought, no, now is time to do my corn wheat field stories, etc., because I love them. The harvest horror stuff.
Harvest horror.
Yes.
Well, that's in this episode. I hope you enjoyed them. Catch up with you again soon.
We will indeed. We will catch you again tomorrow. Take care, everyone.
Goodbye.
Popsicles, sprinklers, a cool breeze. Talk about refreshing. You know what else is refreshing this summer? A brand new phone with Verizon. Yep, get a new phone on any plan with select phone trade-in and My Plan. And lock down a low price for 3 years on any plan with My Plan. This is a deal for everyone, whether you're a new or existing customer. Swing by Verizon today for our best phone deals. 3-year price guarantee applies to then current base monthly rate only. Additional terms and conditions apply for all offers.
For 25 years, Brightview Senior Living Associates have been committed to creating a vibrant culture and delivering exceptional services, making Brightview a great place to work and live. If you're looking for a rewarding opportunity to serve your local community and grow, we want you to join our team. Brightview Senior Living is growing and actively seeking vibrant associates to join our community teams, including directors, healthcare, activities, hospitality, and dining. Apply today at careers.brightviewseniorliving.com. Equal employment opportunities. Text BV Jobs to 97211 to apply.
Feeling drained, foggy, or just not yourself? This could be the effects of low testosterone levels. Henry Meds has you covered. Our testosterone replacement therapy, or TRT, is available in pills, injectable, or daily creams. Many patients report improvements in energy, mood, and focus. Though individual results may vary, TRT may support sexual function. Go to henrymeds.com/TRT to consult a healthcare provider to see if TRT is right for you. Take the first step to feeling your best again and get $50 off your first month at henrymeds.com/TRT.